Financial literacy is something that not taught well in our public education system, in college even. At least for me, right? It's definitely not in medical school. Like we were not taught financial literacy. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video with the only Tin. You guys don't know me, I'm Tin Chu, currently a first-year resident at a family medicine program in California. Today, I just want to talk to you guys about something I wish I did earlier. And I know you guys just finished with your interviewing season, residency, application, waiting for the match. So this is something that every fourth-year medical student should do at this time right now. It is currently the end of February, almost March. So you guys have about like 2-3 months left, 3-4 months left before residency starts. Something you guys need to do right now is to go ahead and freaking file your taxes. Now you're gonna be like, oh, Tin, I didn't work at all as a med student, I don't make any income, no money, why do I file taxes? Just go on TurboTax, get something free, some online like tax thing that you can do. You can file for paper for free in the IRS website and put in $0 as your net income. And I'm gonna tell you guys why right now. So keep in mind, first of all, that I am not a professional financial planner. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is all stuff that I learned from reading and listening to podcasts and just my own personal experience. Anything that you guys do, anything you guys listen to me on here, definitely take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. I will be posting links to websites and guides that help you guys out in the description below. If I don't, just comment and let me know, so because I probably forget to put them in when I upload the videos. When you guys start residency, so there's something called public PSLF, Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. And you guys in med school, you guys probably heard this like going around. You guys probably heard this term before. You guys don't really know what it is. So basically, it is a program that you can enroll in, usually meant for teachers, like governmental workers when they go to school. That will, if you work for a 501c3 entity, like a non-profit government or like government locations, facilities, and you make 120 qualified monthly payments toward the student loans, which average to about 10 years, then you can get your student loans forgiven after that 120 qualified payments. That is what PSLF is. Okay, a lot of doctors, med students, like will get this. It's such a good deal because let's say you like a surgeon and you get out of school and you like $200,000-$300,000 in debt. You're gonna be in residency for 5 years. You can have those 5 years of payments count towards your PSLF, and then when you finish and you become an attending, and then even though the monthly payments can be a little bit higher for the next 5 years because it's based on your income, after that 5-year payment, you are loan free. Your debt is forgiven. No more paying up the $200,000-$300,000 like of student loans, and those $200,000-$300,000 probably like accrue interest during the 5 years that you were in residency. So it's probably like $400,000 now. But that all get forgiven, right? So you probably pay less than $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 by that time. Granted that you work in a non-profit or a 501c3 entity. Okay, so that is what PSLF is. So in order to do this, you need to be on a qualified income repayment plan, and most of the time it's there's 3 types. It's called the repayee, the payee, and the IBR. So it's the one that came out first was the pay as you earn, payee. And then there's like a revised version of that, so it's called revise, pay as you earn. So it's like a 2.0 payee. And then there's the income-based repayment. And there's like a little bit caveat to each of these. I'm not going to go into like specific details. You can go onto the student loan website to take a look at them, what that means. I will just tell you what I did and what most students should do and what you guys should do is to get on the repayee program. Okay, revise pay as you earn. So what happens is when you get on this program, if you file your taxes right now, by the time and like you get your tax process and you put $0 to income pay as your net income for last year, when you guys start residency and you guys consolidate your loans and you guys get on a student loan payment plan, you guys will qualify for repayee. Most of us will qualify for repayee because of the student loans that we have. There's like certain exception, but most of us should be able to get it. So if there's any exception, again, go on the website, make sure you guys did any like crazy borrowing student loans during your undergrad and your school career. Definitely check into that. But most of us should meet, like if you guys have federal loans, you guys should meet the requirement for repay. Anyway, when you guys start in July, August or something this year, your payment monthly for your student loan is going to be $0. You can be making no contribution toward your student loans. Okay, and this is a great thing because you want that cash flow every month. You don't have to be putting like $100, $200, $300 towards the student loans. And then another thing that you guys need to do after you guys file your taxes is to consolidate your student loans a few months before residency start, because it takes like a few months for it to kind of kicks in. Because what happens is if you don't consolidate your loans, you have all these separate loans that you guys borrow. Essentially, the process of consolidating your loans is just like, for me, my initial loan servicer was Great Lakes, and then when I applied to consolidate it, they push everything into one big pile of loans and transfer it to Mohila or Mohela or something. So that's like the new like student loan company that works with the government or something. But initially it was like 4 different loans, but it was all federal loans, it was all student loans, but it was 4 different things, and now they kind of combine everything to one big loan that just. And then what happened, they will warn you is that, oh yeah, now we're gonna recalculate your interest rate. So don't get freaked out by that, because that's gonna happen. Yeah, it might go up a little bit, but you need to consolidate your loan. And let me tell you why. So if you don't consolidate your loans before you start residency, then what happens is by the time you graduate med school, which is maybe like May or June, it's gonna put you into forbearance. Like usually what happens is like they give you 6 months before you have to start paying back your student loans, right? So they will, once you graduate, you're not gonna have to pay loans for the 6 months that you in residency. So maybe not until like September or like October or something, where you have to start paying student loans again. They're gonna put you into forbearance or something. And you're gonna lose those 5-6 months of payment that went towards your PSLF program. So you don't want that to happen. So as soon as when you consolidate your loans, it's gonna warn you. It's gonna be like, are you sure you want to consolidate? Because then your student loans payment will start. But you don't have to worry, because your student loan payment is gonna be $0 because you guys make absolutely no income. And again, this is just a generalization for most of the med students out there. If you are married with a spouse making a bunch of money, probably shouldn't do this. Like talk to an advisor beforehand. See, there's probably other options and stuff. I can't guarantee this is gonna be the right way for you, but do your own research about that, okay? But for most of us med students, we make no income, we probably not married, and this is gonna be perfect. So you consolidate it, payment will start as soon as they finish processing. So by the time you hit residency, they find out where you work, they will start that, your payment will start counting. I think for me, it didn't count because I waited until I graduated. I kind of waited until I start residency to do the consolidation, and it took a few months to get all that done. And then by the time it started, I kind of was like 2 or 3 months behind. Like it didn't. I don't know if those. I'm not sure if those loans gonna go towards my PSLF or not, or if they're gonna like retroactively say that, oh, I consolidated it this time, so then it should be 0 payment for these. So I'm not sure, but I don't want that to happen to you guys. So consolidate beforehand. Now you guys gonna be asking, but Tin, why don't I refinance my loans so I can get a lower interest rate and start paying up the loans, right? Because currently the federal interest rate for look at my loans is about 6.8%. It's pretty high up there. Well, usually when you refinance your loans to a private party, then you can get like a lower interest rate. But let me tell you this, is that when you're on the repay plan, the government will actually subsidize half of your interest rate for you. So that 6.8% interest rate that should be accruing every month for me, half of that's being paid for the government. So technically, let's say round it up to 7%. That should be 3.5% interest rate. Even with, as I'm on the repay plan and I didn't refinance it, 3.5% interest rate. If you can get refinance your loans into anything cheaper like 2.5, 1% interest rate, highly unlikely, especially at this time. Maybe 3% interest rate. Also, maybe, but keep in mind that once you see, the reason why you shouldn't refinance right now, and most people recommend against it, is because what if you decide that you want to do the PSLF down the line? What if you really like working where you are at your residency? Most residencies are also, yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier. So most residency programs are 501c3 qualified, so they count either towards the government or they count as a non-profit center. Okay, so most hospital residency program will count towards the PSLF for the 3 years that you're there, or the 5 years, or how many years. But there's also some residency program who are like privately owned, or like the HCA programs, and maybe Kaiser too. They will not be qualified for PSLF, and in that case, definitely refinance your loans, because those 3 years of residency is not going to count towards the PSLF payment at all. But for most of us, for most of you guys out there, you can do a quick Google, or even just email your program director and be like, or whoever in the hospital, ask them, hey, is this 501c3 eligible for PSLF? Are you guys, is the residency program eligible? And they should know. Okay, so most of us shouldn't refinance because we don't know. Like, what if I finish my residency? Maybe I want to open my own business right now, open my own practice right now, but at the end of residency, I have a really good job offer and I want to keep working for like a qualified health center or something that's going to be count towards the PSLF and keep paying towards it. Then I have to pay 7 more years of student loans under the repayee, and then I get all my loans forgiven. Who knows? So you should be, but as soon as you refinance it, you're done. That option is cut off. You don't ever have the chance of loan forgiveness again. Okay. And another caveat is this: right now, if you guys saw my student loans earlier, I have 0% interest accumulating right now because of the whole COVID fiasco, and then the Biden-Harris student loan thing where they put a hold on the student loan interest rate. So I have been accumulating 0 interest for the last 2 years on my student loans. So that's really nice. And if I had refinanced this in July, if I had refinanced my loans right now, I would be paying, my interest would be accruing for the last 6 months. So again, I would highly recommend not refinancing unless you have a really good reason to, and you for sure that you're not going to be going for PSLF. So that's what I have for you guys. Please do your own research. Read the blog posts and the articles I post in the description. But you guys have time now as 4-year medical student, okay? Financial literacy is something that not taught well in our public education system, in college even. At least for me, right? It's definitely not in medical school. We're not taught financial literacy. This is something that we all gotta learn on our own. And the good thing is that it's easy to learn and pick up as long as you spend some time, reading, do your own research, listen to podcasts. Highly recommend The White Coat Investor. Definitely a good foundation to start with. Start listening to his podcast too. His podcast kind of, go listen to older episodes, but other newer ones, I'm not sure. I stopped listening to it. But his book, The White Coat Investor, definitely gold. You guys have any questions or concerns, comment below. Ask me anything, and I'll try to respond. Again, if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, follow me on Instagram. I respond to messages a lot more frequently on Instagram, and you guys can see more day in the life and everything. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, it's your boy Tim.